Hello and welcome to the first dev update of Blue Screen Simulator JS. This is a blue screen simulator written in JavaScript and it's a website. So if we take a look, it's actually based on previous versions of Blue Screen Simulator Plus in the way it handles multiple simulation profiles. So if we take a look at the source code, this is where all the mess is. So let's go and see simulator database.js. So in here, this is basically a complete port of the simulator database class found in the Android version and a mix of stuff from the Windows version as well. Also, it has a DOM constructor because obviously this is HTML, so we need to do some stuff to like construct the HTML file, which looks like this. So we have a bunch of this basically deals with stuff you see here, like if you switch profiles, stuff hides and unhides and stuff like that. Also, it has actions put to these buttons and stuff, so they work. So the very first thing we're gonna demonstrate, I'm actually gonna check my sound is working. Yes, it should work. So if you simulate the Windows 1.0 screen, which is the first one in the list here, this is what it looks like. And it does play beep sounds until you exit out of the error screen. So this was one of the more complicated error screens to build, just because I had to put a bunch of characters on screen and scroll them. So to exit the blue screen, we have to press escape. And let's stop the sound as well. So this is actually in this class. So here you can see how this works. Let me just make this a little bigger so you can see it more easily. So we are building a canvas. We're putting it behind everything. And this just makes sure it fills the entire screen. And this is the actual resolution within the actual canvas. So let's just I can't too easily modify this. Actually I can, because this is, you can just use inspect element, right? So let's disable the sound. So document, where is selector, canvas, style, with thing 624px and height 228 pixels. So this is the actual height. You can see what the actual size of the canvas is. And yeah, that's it. This is just upscaled like that. So let's see. So we can actually change the startup screen, and it's just QR code file because it's stored in the same variable as the QR file for Windows. So this is again how to fix this. This is just the very early beta version of this. Let's switch to 1.01 startup screen and it looks like this. Of course it takes a moment to load because it's actually live on my website right now. We have web hosts, so yeah, it takes a few seconds. So let's see. So that's how that worked. Then we create a context where we fill with a background color. Just make it blue, basically. The reason we do that is because if you don't do it, and once again, let's see. Now we can't do it on this one. We can't demo it on this one because it's constantly updating. So can't really demo it. So let's show Windows 3.1 instead. That's what that looks like. And see. No, we still can't demo it without modifying the actual file. Okay, very well then. It's a little bit unfortunate, but the point I was trying to make is that if we don't fill it and we right click on this and paste it into like an image editing program, but it does. But it does! Okay, let's save this. Okay, it's supposed to let you save the image. But I think what's happening is that this thing blinks too fast. So it updates before we're able to actually save it. So to fix this, just make it a really high value. And then you copy that image and it should work. Hopefully. No. it did work before. So I'm wondering why it doesn't now. That is very weird. Okay. I think NT1 I tested with that worked. No, that doesn't work. That is bizarre. Okay. So nothing works right now. It used to work, I swear. Okay. So we can disable the watermark. It's basically the text on the bottom left. It just says it's a blue screen simulator website or something like that. So if you want it to look more convincing, that's what you can do. We can select no startup screen and just start scrolling. So the way we do scrolling, let's go back to the code. Oh yeah, we have a pause thing actually. We can just use that. As a debugging feature, I can press pause break. And that pauses the thing. Can we copy it now? No, we can't. Might be a browser thing. Let's check Firefox. See if that works in Firefox. Yeah, let's just. Yes, it just allows us to make a screenshot. I mean, that's a way to save that, right? But it's like not what I want. Maybe there's something in the way. In the way of it. Set the index to like 1. And now we can save image as. Okay, so that's a bug on my part. So if I open this. Yes, it does save it. So, okay. So it's not a browser war thing. I just have to change the z-index of the canvas. So if I set that to 1, now I'm able to copy the image and paste it into paint.net. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I've continued it. That's very good. So yeah, if I didn't fill the background, you would see transparency there. So yeah. Piece of content is the canvas, body is of course the body tag of the HTML. So this checks, okay, the clean function. So clean function, what it does in every simulator, it cleans everything it did. So we do this, we run sim clean. It does that, and then we can do exit simulation. Exits it. So yeah, that's why that's useful. This converts, it converts hex values to numbers. You get like a hex value, so if for a color, if you take a look, PG color, document query selector, BG call value, and that's the hex code of the color. So what this is doing is converting it into something we can use for pixel drawing purposes. So colorize function here, and this is interesting. All this does, so this what this basically does, it takes all the characters in the character set. So by default, the character set, what was the variable for it? It's gen image, I believe. So if I do gen image dot src, there we go. So that's, if I could zoom in, please, thank you very much. That is the character set. So yeah, all this is just a large image that gets split apart. A very long one, 2041 wide and 12 high. So yeah, it's very interesting. And that just gets cut in, I believe, in the simulate function. No, it does not do that. I think it does that directly in the colorize function, maybe. Yeah, it totally does. It just gets the coordinates and it splits that and it puts it into the character set. So that's how that works. Oh yeah, and this function, this makes sure that all the characters are like loaded before we simulate the screen. So we wouldn't have like problems rendering stuff because it was in the process of loading. Colorize splash, this is basically the same idea as colorizing the characters, except we do it for the images. So I can freely just do that, I will do that. But also the startup screen will change color. We change it to any color we want, and it does work, even the foreground, like that. So let's see. Where's the splash screen? Where did we get the splash ing? Splash ing. Okay, polarize. Splash. What is splash? Splash creates element, and here are the images. Let's just take these. That's what that is. So it takes this image and it just replaces all the colors basically. So it does. Same for the characters. Okay. So next we have Windows 3.1 and 9X. These run on the same simulator. So for Windows 3.1 we can have one error type, And is this screen. And we should be able to copy the image and paste it, maybe. Yeah, so yeah, that's what that looks like in 100% scaling. So yeah, really easy to take screenshots. And why is the watermark? Oh, yeah. It's because of the Z index. Yeah, because I set it to 1. But 0 is actually what I'm supposed to set it to. Okay, let's take a look. Set this to 0. No, it still overwrites the watermark. Z index 1. Can I still do it? Apparently I can. Copy something and let's copy the image. Yes, I can still do it, so that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, that's a bug. This is not supposed to be an option. If I uncheck this, let's see. Yeah, it does nothing. Literally, it does nothing. Windows 9X has way more types of errors you can simulate. Like system is busy. It's completely different. Once again, this uses a separate character set, so if I go to console, what is this? NX image src. That's the source for the character set. It has much less characters, but just enough to simulate like every basic type of error. I also have some dummy space because I had problems with it if I didn't, so yeah. You can make it blink faster or slower. Yeah, it blinks like intervals of every second. Let's change this to Microsoft Windows. I don't know. And use, I don't know that you actually use that text, and there we go. It actually changes the header text. Copy an image, or can we? Okay, now we can, and that's what it looks like, 100% scaling. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, so next up, once again, we can change the colors if we want. We can make this like whatever we want. So that's now red. We can make it white on black or some shit. Okay, some colors are glitchy. Okay, that looks very creepy. Like a little thing. So I think if you set it to pure black, it might be glitching out or something. Now this is fine, but doing this, it does not like. Yeah, something related to character colorization, if I had to guess. Windows CE has a separate simulator. It looks like this, very basic. And if you wait 30 seconds, it actually does close itself down. It's set to like 5 seconds. Let's see, 4, 3, 2, 1, not, and that's it. Change the colors, of course. Boom. Exactly the same thing. We can make it not close automatically. There we go. We can make it not display the watermark. Does that allow us to make a screenshot of it? No, it's still broken. Okay, very nice. Can change the error code so it says something different. Yeah, that's it for this one. Let's see. So let's check the code for 9xp salt. This is the entire class. Once again, really simple. In this case, we do define the character set for like all the characters that exist in here, which correspond to this, basically. Exactly the same as this. Look at that. Again, some copy pasta. That's the margins. Okay. Alright. What is this used for? Oh yeah, this is for blinking the thing. So if this is true, then the next frame it hides it, and if this is false, it shows it, stuff like that. Blink interval, that's just a variable to store how frequently it should blink. Wait loads. Basically, once again, it waits for all the characters to load. And this function here generates hex codes based on the parameter editor parameters. So yeah, we pick like this. We can use the parameter editor or error code editor to change how these look. So we can make it like, we call it this zeros, and fix the stupid font of like display issues. Let's make it white, and it's all zeros now. Very simple. Okay, so yeah. So next thing is that I think interesting. This is colorize characters again. Basically the same idea, but it does lead to a different character set. Very simple stuff. And for the CE simulator, this is even more simple. Like, this is way less lines of code. Only like 70 lines of code. Pretty short. So character set here is set to Unicode. That variable doesn't really do anything right now. I guess maybe in the future this can be used to detect if a character set is maybe using like raster fonts or something like that, but this is actually using real fonts. 755/400. So that's the special thing about CE. It has a very weird resolution. We can actually fix the Z index right there. Okay. And draw text. So this is the difference here. So it's still using a canvas for displaying everything here. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. So let's just, okay, there we go. So it's a canvas. We can do a bunch of crap on it. And yeah, it draws stuff on the canvas using fill text with the font we set before, which we set by doing this. Sending the font a value on CTX or context of the canvas, and all it does, it constructs like these lines here, and then it just bloop splits them, and yeah, that's all that does. And it updates every 100 or like 1000 milliseconds, because there's a timer that ticks down every 1000 milliseconds, or once every second. So next up we get to some advanced crap. So Windows NT has a lot more stuff in it, and it generates in like very quickly. So this one was much more difficult to implement. You may notice the button this overflows to the next line. This once again uses draw text, but I had to implement a way of checking how many characters it has drawn. So if it goes over 80 characters, it splits apart to the next line. That's what you're seeing here. I'm glad it actually used a long enough file name to demo that. Something that doesn't even happen on previous versions of Blue Screen Simulator Plus, because they weren't coded for that. So they just go outside the screen, which is not really accurate of how this server screen would actually behave. And for NT, we have a NT code editor, a very early version that barely works. So yeah, you have to do that every time, and it doesn't even have like a special pod where I can do this stuff. I have to do that for every file. There we go. So we modified like 3 of the files. As you can see, they have all zeros as the codes. You can even do it for the bottom ones as well. So like this one. So once we modify that, yeah, it's pretty annoying right now, but it will be fixed in future. As you can see, it's zeros here as well. For NT, we can make it not blink. We can show AMD processor, so not blink. It obviously doesn't blink the thing here. Right now it says genuine enter. If I say AMD processor, it says authentic AMD. We cannot display the stack trace, which will make it a much more minimal error screen. We can show a culprit file. We can hide the watermark if we want. We can change a bunch of stacks, so we can say and yeah, there we go. That's what it says now. You can modify a bunch of stuff. You can change the culprit file if you want. Yeah, it now says a different thing here. Right now you can change what files are here. This will be fixed in a future version. Right now you can just change the codes here. If you had this on, you can make it blink faster. Blinks much faster. You make it blink slower. Like that. You can make the background a different color. Easy peasy. Different color. And we can see Windows 2000, which is based on the same simulator. Looks fairly similar. for the font. It's actually using the same character set. We're getting some errors thrown out because this is a beta and there is not that good of an error checking going on. So let's see. What was it called? Empty image. Let's see. Okay, there's the character sets. If you open this new tab, these are all the characters you need to simulate Windows NT blue screen. Basically, there is a little bug with the 2000 blue screen, and that's this right here, because there is no character assigned for the apostrophe. So that needs to be fixed in a future update of the character set. We can display a culprit file. Again, I didn't address this, but you can actually move this interface around however you like. There's a little bug where you can kind of do weird stuff like this, where it resizes itself for some reason. But yeah, any sub windows that open, you can move around. There's a little bug where the OK button is outside the bounds. The parameters and all this stuff. Oh yeah, there's one NT code for default. If you select NT code editor on like 9x, it says you can't do that. It's supposed to not show the window, but it still does, which is wrong. So the way 2000 and NT work is called WDKB sub, maybe? I think, yeah, it is. It totally is. It's the same class for both of them. Okay, so here's the character set once again, the way to load thing, all the standard stuff you see on everywhere else. Clean stuff, once again displays the canvas. Draw text for Windows 2000. So this is the NT code draw function. It just drops characters on screen, very similar idea, but since there's a lot more stuff going on, it's longer. So yeah, there's one thing I want to point out, and that is line check right here. What this does is it splits the line if it goes over 80 characters into like 2 lines. And yeah, it just says handles for the wrapping supposedly, and that's all it does. It uses recursion if it goes like over 160 characters or more. I haven't really had a chance to test that. Maybe it works, let's just find out, or it might freeze and crash and crumble down. So let's check. Here we go. Let's debug this. So if we make this like very long line, like spam the thing, spam the crap out of it. Actually, let's see, I don't think it's even checking that line. So if I do it even once, it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna do that. That's not what we want. So I think what you're supposed to do is, actually, a faster way of doing this. We do me.setString culprit, and we just do that. That's the culprit file now. So now if you simulate this, does nothing, but if you show the culprit file, yes, it works. Wow, the recursion thing actually works. That's so wonderful. Although I didn't check if it's the correct length, it might not be actually. Might just be repeating A too often. So let's check. No, I did put a lot of A's in there, so it might actually be doing it correctly. Highlight a C in there. Let's see if that shows that. Yes, that is a C. Put the C somewhere earlier. The string, or like or in the middle somewhere, or like D, B, D and B. See if that works. So we can find D and we can find the B somewhere in the string. So it looks like it's actually working correctly. I'm honestly surprised that it actually works correctly with the recursion. I didn't test that before and it actually just works. That's so cool. So I think we can just leave a comment. Get params. All this does is get the codes for the. This is for 2000 simulation. So in 2000, if you go here and show culprit file, has no, not the culprit file. It's this thing. It's this thing. That's what get params is for. Windows 2000, you can see it's much simpler because there's not as much stuff going on. Like NT, the way I did the table. So table. We want to check that. So in here, yeah, it's a bunch of. There was like a little JavaScript thing where you could specify the amount of. Yeah, there we go. Pad end and pad start are these functions that you could use on strings to like add spaces here. Depending on the length of the thing. So that's how NT stuff works. Let's actually check more stuff. Simulate this. Actually does a lot for stuff. And this, okay. Yeah, this is just, okay, it's just appending characters, but it's also coloring them. Like right in the simulate function, that's the difference here. Okay, this is for generating hex stuff. Once again, if it's R, it generates a random one. If it's something else, it has the character in one of these positions. Next we have XP, which looks like this. Not as convincing stretched out as it would be if I and copy the image. Okay, it still isn't perfect, and it kind of looks like the XP blue screen. Okay, whatever. This one's again very simple, but you can modify a bunch of stuff you want to display. Okay, I don't know if XP scrolls like that, but okay, I think there should be more spacing in here, but yeah. The difficult part about XP Vista 7 is the scrolling that happens. So, so if you do that, you can see it scrolls depending on what's on screen, and then Vista 7 it actually has a little progress bar thing, and once it reaches 100 it should scroll again. There you go. It did scroll, but it automatically closed the screen, so it was hard to see. We can also change what the files are, stuff. So it's but our fly.sys. That's a very interesting file that you use, like bam.sys. Right now you can specify your own file level being a future version. It says custom file here, but it just doesn't do anything. It just puts a placeholder in there. So yeah. Again, we can change the color if you want. Easy peasy. So it's called, also the difference between Vista and 7 is the font. So 7 uses a different font compared to Vista. And that's the difference. Oh yeah, it gets a little glitchy with closing itself if you spam it a lot. That's again a beta thing. So we're gonna have to wait for it to error out. So it's called Legacy Psor in the actual thing here. So if you copy this, paste, this still relatively simple, I would say. This is a different thing for choosing their character. It doesn't use carat because I was having issues with it. I know it is using carat in some places. Huh. That's really weird what I did here. Oh yeah, the way I do the thing where it scrolls, I specify the number of maximum lines and we skip number of lines that's like okay, let's say this, okay, let's say number of lines is 35. Okay, so this equals 35, then it subtracts max lines and you get 2 lines to skip. So we split the full text if it's if the position is greater or equal to number of lines to skip, then it draws the text. Otherwise it just moves on, doesn't do anything. That's how we accomplish scrolling. Very simple once again, and this is just the way it does the text, and it runs at 640 by 480 resolution. And you can use any Unicode character you want. Actually, I haven't tested emoji. I think that might break it, but let's test it anyway. Let's see. No, it doesn't actually. It actually renders. That's so cool. You can actually use any Unicode character. That's so cool. I really thought it was gonna break. Okay. Second to last, we have Windows 8 to 11 simulators. So these ones are different because you can actually change the resolution, and it dynamically resizes. It doesn't it uses native resolution of your display. So you can do a bunch of stuff. Actually show the file I just modified. It does not work on the 8 blue screen, which is an oversight. It actually does in Windows 10 and 11, so it... Okay, the QR code took a second to load. But yeah. Server blue screen looks like this. This is just... You don't have the emoticon, that's the difference. Green screen. Says Windows Insider build here. You can actually highlight text, but that also means you can't like just right click and screenshot it. You actually have to use a screenshot tool, but that's totally fine because it's native resolution, so yeah, it's fine. You can make it happy. Don't use the server disk. There we go. Your bad PC rammed into a Pro. There we go. Simulate that. Your Windows Insider build rammed into Pro. Okay, that's very funny. Let's say you didn't want to see the actual stopcode like label, you want to see the number, you can just do uncheck that and it shows the actual code. You can have it not automatically close, it shows a different text and it actually doesn't auto close. Yeah, you can make it a transparent QR code so it actually matches the background here. Before the default one, it does that. You can also specify a custom URL, that's totally fine. You can make the QR code bigger or smaller. You can change where the thing is located. You can make it like that or like that, depending on what you're into. Name 50, bunch of stuff you can do. Be that, a bunch of customization options here. Windows 11, the difference here is a different blue, and you can use the black screen for like earlier Windows 10 versions, like that. There's one more simulator we have available, and that's like kind of a hidden one. That one you need to hit new. It shows how presets works in the preset manager, so that's a feature here. It's called this Windows Boot Manager 24.768 standard, something like that. It will match the naming of the other ones. You click this, and this is the last one. Before we go there, I should actually show how the modern VSOD works. This one's again relatively simple, but it doesn't make a canvas, it actually just puts some like HTML like elements. So you have like divs and stuff. I've actually shown how that worked. If I simulate, we inspect the element, we can actually modify the text on it, so we can say blah blah, and it actually changes it. And yeah, this changes with the code. Once it reaches 100%, we can just do that and it's fine. 99% complete. Yeah, you can change it because it ran out of time. This is a flexbox. So in the flexbox you have, it's a div as a flexbox and it has elements inside that are aligned like that. The advantage of using a flexbox, once again, we can just resize the thing and it's fine. We can remove the thing and it's fine. There's a bunch of stuff we can do. Yeah, that's how that works, and that's how it's constructed in pure JavaScript. Oh yeah, this checks what the QR is for it. It just breaks it because there's nothing in there. And this just increments the progress. This actually says margins and stuff and the font. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it has like a realistic progress thing. So if I simulate it, it actually moves like increments by random numbers, like it's in like kind of like it does in a real VSOD. But right now this does nothing, so that's yet to be implemented. It actually has two font families set, which is interesting. So the final thing, as a bonus, as a secret like thing, you have Windows Boot Manager, which displays like a one-to-one replica of Windows Boot Manager on the fader screen. So it actually is like one-to-one copy of it. We go style that with width. It's 1024 pixels. Yeah. That's what it looks like at 1:1 scale. Compress escape to exit, but that's just a standard thing. So I think we've reached the end of this dev update. There's still more stuff to do, obviously. Yeah, in the thing we can remove the boot manager if we want. We can reset a specific config. So let's say I had no startup screen labeled in here, or I mess with the colors and stuff. Let's say I want to reset it. You can very easily just reset this config, and even this doesn't sound which I didn't want it to do. We can reset everything, which it just did, but it didn't look like it. We can remove a config. Say you don't want to simulate 1.x, you can just remove it. You can create a new one, as I said. So as you can see, Windows 1.0 is not in the list. Add a new one. Let's say we want to add boot manager back. I don't know. Let's say you messed everything up. You can reset all settings and all the configs are reset like that. Copy JSON data. What this does if we do there we go. This is your save format. In the future, we'll be able to save stuff using a JSON file that looks like this. Probably into like cookies or local storage, depending on what I want to do. This button doesn't do anything right now. So that's all right. Yeah. As far as the code for bootmgr, that's something I forgot to show still. Why is it doing that? Excuse me? What? What is happening? Can someone explain what is going on? Okay, whatever. Like what key did I press to get that? Okay. This is like uber simple, only 100 lines. This just draws some rectangles. Actually, that's a special thing for this error screen. It even explains in the code you can set spacing in the thing. We actually do add a dummy character here, because otherwise if you don't and you make it say something other than Windows, it screws itself up. So if it is that, if it doesn't say Windows Boot Manager with the G right there, say Windows Boot. Where's the title thing? There we go. See, yeah, it still looks okay. If I didn't do that, everything will get misaligned and it wouldn't be a one-to-one replica of the actual error screen. And it just explains what different stuff is rendering here, the troubleshooting steps, source code, and yeah. That's source code, that's the description, key bind at the bottom for like the exit and continue things. And yeah, that's it. That's literally everything it does. Yeah, nothing special. You can use the colors as always. As a proof, I'm gonna do that. Easy peasy. Gonna use the highlight color. And this right here does nothing right now. I don't know, maybe I should change that. But yeah, this is quite literally everything I wanted to show you. Pretty much. It does like have a loading ellipse. This has some stuff like drag element for like the movable windows I got from like Stack Overflow, so you can do that, like organize windows and stuff. It's pretty cool. This rainbow background once again is really temporary, nothing really going on here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to stop recording because I don't wanna once again have over an hour of footage, and yeah. The code, if you want to try this out, this is the URL. It literally exists live, you can try it out. Also exists on my GitHub, but right now it's private, you can see it. But yeah, that's like the file structure. You have a list of files in a text file. You have list of errors in a text file, like in the Blue Screen Simulator Plus. You have the beat to the MP3. I had to convert it to MP3 specifically because I didn't like the original wave for some reason. Has the QR codes, the character sets. This is the screenshot of this splash screens for like 1.0, 2.x simulators. Style sheet, pretty basic stuff. Index HTML. Yeah, that's it. I don't need to show anything else. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.